Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel vlog, gym vlogs. Today we're doing a very different session to what we usually do. We're doing mobility and stretching. My credentials, 10 years in gymnastics and ballet, including point work. So we're starting on the treadmill, walking backwards for a couple of minutes on an incline. I've got the incline on 12 and the speed on like 2. This gets your knees really warm. Whoa, I've edited this really quickly. Anyway, jumping straight into the first hip mobility exercise. We need a Reebok box and a kettlebell. This is what you're going to do, and you're going to try and swing that weight. Get your foot as far away from your standing leg as possible. Don't let it come up really quickly. That's what it's going to look like, facing the wall. Do like 8 to 10 reps, or if you can't do any weight, obviously do without the weight. And then I like to swing it back and forth a little bit. I feel like it fires up my hip flexors a little bit. This is what it looks like when I'm doing it. Up, down, and then the side to side. My butt looks great in this, by the way. Can we just talk about that? Side to side looks like that. I'm just trying to maintain my foot facing forward and keep the kettlebell in front of the Reebok box. And I'll do 3 sets of those, either side, 8 reps, bish bash bosh. Next. This is for your tibialis muscle, I believe. It's the one in front of your shin, because why would you train calves and not train your tibialis? So we're doing some tibialis raises on the Reebok box with the same kettlebell. I'm still using the lightest one. I wouldn't be surprised if you can barely do any reps if you've never done this before. So keep that in mind. And then I'm just doing some assisted reps at the very end, pulling it up and letting the weight go down slowly. Training to failure, as always. Doing both sides, about 3 sets, 8 reps-ish. Next, we're doing these step downs. Same movement as the walking backwards on an incline treadmill. We want to put pressure through the Achilles in that second. I'm trying to freeze and slow everything down in exactly that moment there. I'm trying to slow as much as possible. And this is just putting pressure through the Achilles tendon when the ankle is flexed the most in this motion. You can stretch out your ankles a little bit throughout and between sets. But if you're doing this on a Reebok box, make sure you put weight forwards as well, because you will simply fall off the box. Next, we are stretching out the hip flexor. We're going to park our knee on a mat really, really close to the wall, and then sort of reverse bay park yourself into this position. And then up, stretching out that hip flexor. And then when it feels comfortable to do so, just coming forward and stretching a little bit. I'll go between the wall and this stretch like 2-3 times, and I'll do like twice on each side. Just as we've worked the hip flexor, we've worked the tibialis, we've worked the Achilles. Let's stretch everything out now. See, so how I'm getting into that position. I'm parking my knee next to the wall and then reversing into it. Coming up and then coming down when we feel comfortable to do so. Now, this is, I want to call these Spider-Mans. I couldn't tell you anything else. Anyway. So I'm in this sort of position, prone position on the floor. I've got one foot out at a 90-degree angle, and I was just pulling my foot towards me first just to get it stretched out. And I'm trying now to bring that, I'm not doing this very well, this is my wrong side, but bring that foot up in sort of like a Spider-Man crawl. Imagine how Spider-Man crawls in that position, and I'm trying my very, very best to keep my knee off the floor. As you can see, I'm now doing some just knee raises, trying to get it off the floor, and this is a fantastic hip opener exercise, not just stretch. It's very important to stretch your muscles, yes, but also to have them trained and strong in those most stretched positions. So as you'll see throughout this, see, this is my good side. See, I can actually get it off the floor here. So that's my left hip. And I'm pushing up off the floor like that. And so I'm alternating. I'll do these little leg raises and then knee raises, leg raise, knee raise, leg raise, knee raise. I'll do like 10-ish on each side. I'll do that twice round. Bish, bash, bosh. It's not easy, but it needs to be done. I can even hit the little frog pose in between sets just to get a little bit more stretch on the hips there. Was anyone else forced to do this in ballet? When I did this as a kid, I used to be able to get my feet fully on the floor. I don't think that's anatomically possible. Anyway, just shaking it out a little bit. Разминать. You're going to hear this word a lot. Learn it. It's a Russian word. Разминать. Разминать мышцы. We're going to разминать the muscles in the sense of like we're kneading them like dough to go into the positions that we want. Right, now as we go into my absolutely legendary stretch routine, I want you to keep a couple things in mind. I've cropped this. I've cut this video, I've jump cut it, and let me know if you want an unjump cutted version. Between each position, I take deep breaths and I try and let go of all the tension from my body into the earth to get fully into that stretch. And each stretch you'll see from two angles, because I did the other side, I filmed from another angle. And so I implore you to sort of have a look at this routine, try and learn it, because once you've got a learned routine in the back of your head, you can really be at one with your body so much more than if you're trying to look up to see a screen and follow a YouTube video, follow a yoga instruction, etc., etc. Learn a routine, and it needs to be a meditative process. Stretching is honestly a spiritual experience for me. It's a release of tension. It's mind over matter in terms of every position is painful, but you have to breathe through that pain and understand that that pain is beneficial to you, and that that pain may also be telling you something sometimes, and you need to listen to it and act accordingly. It's really not just a simple follow a little YouTube video, one and done. You really need to learn to listen to your body. So I implore you to watch this video. Let me know in the comments if you guys want the full uncut version and I can just narrate that so you can try and just listen to that in your AirPods as you do it, or learn this routine. There we go. This routine I have put together from years and years of warming up for ballet and gymnastics and jazz, flamenco, like all other sorts of dance classes, warm-ups. This is sort of combined of like warm up and stretch. And I do this religiously for years, and I've still got all my splits. I'm 22 and I lift really heavy, and I haven't lost any of my flexibility because I've maintained this stretch routine almost at least once a week. I've done it for years, for like probably the past 10 years. So these things do require consistency and engagement and discipline. But once you fall in love with it, you fall in love with it, trust me. I know you want to be able to do your splits. I know it might be a goal of yours to be able to hit the mermaid pose in yoga, but it requires consistency. It requires mind over matter of like stretching can be very painful sometimes and not very rewarding if you're not a naturally flexible person. I do need to preface this by saying I'm hypermobile, number 6 on the scale of I think 1 to 12 or something, but I'm classified as hypermobile, so I've always been flexible. No, I won't be able to understand what it's like to not be flexible at all, but can I tell you that flexibility requires maintenance and consistency, and it's still extremely painful every single time, but you just have to push through it. That I can definitely tell you. Here's an example of what I mean by you can't just stretch, you have to be strong in that stretch. Do you see when I release, my foot doesn't shoot back down like it's on a spring? I let it go slowly, slow and controlled. Splits. Yeah, it's pretty impressive, isn't it? Okay, so I just hop into my splits. I keep my hips as square as I can. And then I go into a back bend, forward bend, and then I put my weight either side of my legs and I just really resminate those muscles. So the leg behind you is like your hip flexor and your quad is stretched out. And forward is definitely your hamstrings and your glute that is being stretched out. Here's another angle, just for fun, and that's my favorite movement of this whole stretch, I'd say, that little whoosh that I do with my arms in the split onto the outside leg. So fun. Oh, and then I'm going to introduce you to one of my favorite ways to click something in your body. I'm not a chiropractor, I'm not a licensed medical professional, do not repeat this at home. But if you're flexible enough to get into this routine and you click your neck already and you just hit this pose where you interlock your fingers and you gently push on the back of your neck and it just releases that cervical spine. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. You definitely should not try it at home. Definitely don't. Do not. Okay, just hitting this pose. This pose is nasty. And then you're going to do everything I just did on the other side. Now that you've done the other side, we go here and we're doing the 2 leg stretches. So we're starting in, oh my god, I forgot what this is called. Frog but upright. Anyway, as I do these, I shift my feet forward a little bit, let all the tension go, forward a little bit, let all the tension go, forward a little bit, boom, boom, boom. I've just cropped it to the bits where I'm pushing my legs forward, and then until they're straight, basically. And then you can really comfortably just разминать yourself into this position and shake yourself out, vibrate yourself out, however you want to call it. And then I love to hit this little cross leg and just sort of straighten my legs so that they're like forced to stay there. And then I'll swap sides and do like both hands, one crossing over the other, because it stretches your lower back in a slightly different way. This as well, push through your feet to stretch your lower back. Oh, I feel so good. And then here I'm pushing into the floor to take weight off of my lower back, and I might get some clicks out of my lower back there. Right, going into straddle, again, same concept. We're going to pick the position, we're going to let all the tension go from our body, we're going to scoot a little bit deeper into the stretch, and then let all the tension go, and then scoot deeper. And then again, until we're all the way flat to the floor. And then once we are flat to the floor, we can get rid of those arms and just push the legs apart even further. Up, 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 up to the sky, and then over to the side. And then I'm really trying to open up my chest to the sky to twist and stretch out my lat, in this case, my right lat. And then folding over the leg and letting all the tension go again, and just back to the middle and up. And then same again on the other side. Up and over, and proud chest to the sky, trying to twist it out, and then twisting over the leg, chest to your knees, head to your knee, and then just letting go of all the tension and going back into the middle. Come back up, and then again trying to click my lower back there, hitting this nasty pose to stretch out those quad and those hip flexors once again. And then we're going into these. These I only do if the gym's really empty. I get so insecure doing these. But fortunately on this day, I had a very quiet corner of the gym that was fully empty. But this is a fantastic back stretch. It's the same thing as doing it like the other way around with your legs on the floor, but it's like gravity's working on your lower back in a different way, and it just разминает все мои мышцы, понимаешь? Like, it's... And then I like to do these a little bit from side to side and rocking back and forth, and then coming back really, really slowly. And I can honestly stay in that position for like 10 minutes. It feels so good. And then I can also stay in this position for 10 minutes and let all the tension go into the floor. That nice, hard, straight floor. Going into the yoga section of this, I call it the yoga section, but we're just going to do a little bit of flow. So all of those were pretty static positions, and now we're sort of stretched, we're warm, we're feeling elastic, we're feeling like an elastic band. So we're going to hit a bit of flow. So I just hit that upward dog, downward dog, going into some lunges, opening up to the sun. I don't really know my yoga poses off by rote, so please, if you're a yogi, don't catch me on this one. But now I'm going to attempt a fallen angel. You can't see me, but I've got all of my weight on my arms and my head is on the floor. I'll insert a picture of what it's supposed to look like, because this is a horrendous camera angle. I apologize, but someone else is just off camera to the right, so I couldn't put my camera there. I apologize. Again, hitting that lunge, coming back down to child's pose, downward dog, and then we're going to do everything on the other side. If you want yoga instructions, follow someone else. I'm not qualified. Right, once that's done on both sides, I like to alternate between upward dog and child's pose multiple times to just get that lower back nice. Hitting that crow pose. Damn, I'm still holding it. That's a hella long time. Anyway, give it a try. It's really easy if you haven't tried it. It's just about balance and putting all your weight in your fingers. Again, hitting that downward dog for hopefully the last time, and then walking my feet to my hands and just coming up really, really slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, stacking them one on top of the other, and then stretching, trying to reach the sky as much as possible and stretch everything out and just oh, I feel so good. Okay, I think this is called tree pose, but we're gonna hop into this, and then tree pose 2.0, and then we're going to let go, but we're going to control it, and we're going to go into nested crow, and we're going to nest, and we're going to balance, and we're going to look at the floor, and then we're going to come out of nested crow, balance, and go back into tree pose. Oh, wasn't that beautiful? And then I'm going to do everything on the other side. bish bash bosh. And then here I'm just because I'm feeling really loose and really elastically, and I'm just faffing about because I'm an ex-gymnast, so I have to try and hit these poses. I don't even, what would you call this? It's like tree pose, but you've got your hand wrapped around your ankle in the other direction, like you've grabbed it from a different direction. Here I'm just swinging, getting ready for my attitudes and needles and whatnot. I'd call this the diamond pose, and then I would call that a needle, but you're supposed to be back bent into it way more. My balance isn't very good, as you can see, but I'd call that one pretty good. That was almost a lockout. And then this one, almost dislocated my shoulder doing that one, but it sure does look pretty. I'm hoping to get so good at ice skating that one day I'll do one of these on ice. So I need to maintain the flexibility to do so, just in case I get really, really good at ice skating. Watch me. Follow along. We'll see. And then here I'm just faffing about with a bit of balance flow, trying to stay on one foot without hopping and whatnot. You gotta just have fun with it. Anyway, I think it's coming down to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I don't have an outro filmed, but please like, subscribe, follow. Catch me on TikTok, catch me on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and please, please, please let me know if you want the full long version. I can narrate it nice and slow. I can go more in depth into the yoga. Let me know if this is something you're interested in, or if you want me to write a program of like how to get your splits, how to get your whatever pose, whatever goals you guys have. Pop them in the comments. Finishing off this lovely session. Bye. Thanks for watching.